Living Pain here. Welcome. Day 327. Man, seems like a long time, but it doesn't. I was just thinking, day 320. So last year, December 22nd, I was in Florida for my sister's 50th birthday, and I was at my all-time high, about 237. And I should get a picture and show the difference from that trip. And I got to tell you, I feel so much better. As a matter of fact, when I looked at those pictures, my face was just so fat and round. And now I look at pictures, or when I'm on video, during conference calls, I may not be my goal weight, but I look a lot better. I don't know if you ever, I never liked FaceTime, and part of it is because you always, to me, it's like I'm A, looking at myself half the time, and then B, as I'm looking at myself, I'm going, fuck, you look like, you look like shit. So you try to turn the phone up a little bit so you don't get that double, triple, quadruple chin or anything like that. And now at least I can look at myself. By chance, I was on my computer today and had FaceTime, and I don't know what it was, but I clicked the button and up came FaceTime, and myself was getting recorded, my face. And I was looking at it, I was like, you know what? That's probably the best looking FaceTime face you've ever had. Something that I feel good about, And today I ended up weighing in at my all-time low on this journey. I weighed in at 201.4, which I was absolutely shocked about because I went to bed last night. I weighed myself before I go to bed, and I went to bed at 206 point change. I don't know, 206.8, something like that. So I was like, I was kind of like, dude, this sucks. You know what? You're going to wake up at 203 again. Just thinking, losing maybe 3 pounds in your sleep is about average with the times I run back and forth to the washroom and then just breathing out, carbon monoxide. And so when I woke up this morning, I had no expectations other than 203, and then to look down and see 201.4, I was like, yeah, baby, great way to start the day. And the big thing though is I lost a bunch of weight. What was it, about, I would say 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago, I was up to, the highest I had ever been at that time was 217. And that scared the hell out of me. Forget about 237. I really upped my game. I remember being 237 and saying, geez, I wish I was 217. But I was 217 about 5-6 years ago, maybe longer, I can't remember, 2014, so about 6 years ago. And then I, dropped down to about 190 pounds, I think it was. It was maybe 195, anyway. But I did it the wrong way. I went on kind of an extreme, I had mentioned it before, a potato diet, which Penn and Teller was a big proponent, lost 100 pounds. He lost 100 pounds on it. He's off his blood pressure medication. And my buddy Wolfgang was losing weight. And he says, oh man, dude, you should try this. So I went on it and I lost 17 pounds on that diet. And then I lost a little bit more. Here's what the problem was, is I couldn't exercise. And when I did try to run, the heart rate was through the roof. So basically I lost weight, but I also was losing muscle. And in a way, when I finally got down to that weight, I looked at myself and it was like, this is a different guy. Like, the shape of my face, my body, everything was just out of kilter. And it didn't feel like I earned it. And it didn't feel that I was healthy, although it was great being, down to getting into that. I think I was around 195 in that area, 190, 195. It was great to get down there. But I remember even looking at myself and thinking, you know what? I didn't like what I was seeing. Now, when I look at myself, what I see is somebody who's been disciplined, who's been focused, who's gotten in shape, has gotten healthy, and I believe has been doing it the right way. And I've also done it in such a way that once I hit my goal, I don't have to have a lifestyle change at all. I'm still having my beer days. I'm still going out to restaurants. It's not like I've just was on that potato diet where you just shut everything down and become a monk and, just eat potatoes and dread every time you have to eat a potato. Or I did a 7-day fast, water fast way back. And that was the same sort of thing. I lost, what did I lose? It was, I think, 13 pounds in 7 days, just strictly water. And I actually paid to go on this water fast. I had to fly to a place, to kind of this resort where they fed you water for 7 days and they gave you enemas every night. And I think I lasted for the enemas maybe 3 nights max. You got this big 10-gallon, 5-gallon, 10-gallon thing of water and a hose. And yeah, it was just horrible, man. And anyway, those are the days so the minute I finish that fast, what happens? Next thing you know, you go out, you grab something to eat, and the weight's back up. So you just and this resort I went to is kind of an earthy yoga, granola eating sort of place. A lot of new age people there. So there was no TV. So basically, you drank water all day, you sat in your room. If you wanted to read a book, you could. And I remember sitting there just going, man, I paid for a flight to get here. It was probably like $2,000 to go to a place to drink water and just torture yourself. Just sitting in a room, torturing yourself, just looking at your watch saying, okay, 7 days, 6 days, 5 days, just counting down the days, just putting yourself through all sorts of nonsense to lose weight. So anyway, my point being is I feel really good about how I've lost weight this time. And I feel that I'm on the right track. I just got to keep it going. Today, another great day of training. I went out for a run. And my biggest fear, as you know, is having any sort of an injury. So I kept the heart rate low. This was the first time and heart rate is so important. I rode my bike yesterday. I did weights yesterday. I did my stretching yesterday, and the weights and the bike were in the evening after 8 o'clock. So this morning I wake up, the heart rate's elevated. Then I go for a run, and it's really elevated. So I had to walk to keep the heart rate down. I had to walk. And there was times where I didn't want to, but then I'm like, hey, dude, you've been injured. Do you really want to get injured? Don't you want to be responsible about this? And same with the distance. So I wanted to make sure that I was responsible. I finished it. I was happy with it. Later today, I did the hip opening stuff, which as simple as just stretching is. It's like anything, just having to pull yourself for 15 minutes out of your day to go do it. And then food-wise, I think I'm pretty much done, cleaned out the fridge or the freezer of any ice cream products or frozen yogurt products, which is good. And most of the pudding, other than the rice pudding, and a few peach cups, are basically gone. So that's a good thing. Although if you saw yesterday, I did eat Jell-O, and I went with that diet Jell-O and made a big bowl of it. And I think, every cup's like 10 calories. So it's a great thing to eat because it's such low calories. So all in all, and today is Thursday, which for me is the start of my weekend. So last Thursday, I think I got to bed at around 2:30. And today we'll see where I'm going to get to bed. It's another Malo 5. I'm so hooked now on this Malo 5. Picked up another, I don't know, how many did I pick up? 20 bottles. And then I got another 30 coming next week. And the most I'll drink is maybe 5-6 tops, and before I fall asleep. Because it's got THC in it, and it's not like, smoking dope or anything like that. It's a different dope that just shows how old I am. Smoking weed or anything like that. It's just gives you a nice takes the edge off. And if you have 1 or 2 of them, you don't feel anything other than, you're just relaxing a bit. So for me, 4 or 5, I'm done, and then I'm ready to go to bed. Although last week I stayed up till 2:30. I did buy some Red Bull so when I start going down in energy, because I'm not drinking, because if I drank beer, I go up in energy. So I bought some Red Bull and Monster Energy diet stuff. So we'll see if that works. But anyway, my weekend starts tomorrow. It's basically a half day for me. And yeah, the videos, I'm going to start shortening them, the front part, just the mapping everything in the day. It's fun, but it's taking a little longer than I'd hoped. And some of the feedback that I've been getting from some of the folks is that they kind of fast forward through that, and which I don't blame them, because it's the same every time. And then they go to the commentary. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, you're probably going like, Brian, what's different about you? There's something different. Well, if you guessed I finally got a haircut after 2 months, you'd be right. And based on the amount of hair that they took off my head, which little hair I still had, there was enough there that, who knows, it might be enough to take me from 201.4 down to 199. That would be awesome if I had 1.5 pound hair loss. Anyway, that's it for me. Living pain. Hope all is well. See you tomorrow.